One, check two.
Are they moving?
Keep going.
Hi, Jenna. Yeah.
It's like one of those old movies, like
Why don't
you
we
can
just
watch
drink?
their lips moving.
Might as well. What are we drinking?
Can you try again?
This is a
white
local
wine?
winery. A
Ooh,
white wine.
That's delicious.
It is
We're good? Are we back?
Yeah, you're good.
Oh, we're back.
Amazing.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
We had a battery situation, and today's Jenna's last day, so it won't happen again. Actually, it's been so busy around here the last couple days. Anyhow.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, it wasn't that busy, to be honest with you.
Anyhow, welcome back. We are live again, or still, in the well-seasoned kitchen. I'm Angie. This is Chef Deniz.
Just pick it up, eh? Yeah.
Pick what up?
No, like pick it up like this. You're doing good. You're doing good.
Pick up the pace.
No, that was distracting. We're good.
Okay. Are we back, Jenna? We're good. Okay.
Amazing.
sorry.
How are you?
I'm good. How about you?
Not bad. Just
Good.
tired. It's been a hard 8 months. Yeah. If you play violin like this, I ain't coming over, man. I'm just like finesse. No, it's been a pleasant week actually. It wasn't.
The pace has been very civilized.
The
this
pace just settled down. All of you people started to get distracted with
Long weekend.
long weekends and this and that. But I can't complain. I like being busy. We like being busy.
We do.
It
We like
is. I mean, all the humor aside, that we just talk about it. Other than those 2 weeks, but we like being busy. Busy is good. Your stocks would rotate. Staff is happy. Everybody gets, well, I get paid first, and then everybody else gets paid. They're just little
the last
people.
couple of weeks while we were so busy, Dennis was ordering in lunch. So apparently he's been ordering fried chicken while I was on vacation. So everybody's like, "Oh, is it fried chicken Friday?" Dennis is like,
cheap.
"Oh, listen to this guy." Dennis is like, "I think fried chicken Friday should be a thing." So he's in charge of frying chicken tomorrow because it's Friday.
I just wanted to go to Popeyes and treat the staff lunch because we didn't have counter space. It was that busy. And while our friend was in Oklahoma or whatever the hell, I don't know, Arkansas was it?
Yeah.
Arkansas. Yeah, I bought staff lunch because I had a company card, right? It's just like,
He's
and
like
it
a high
works.
roller with my
Yeah.
card, which is amazing.
Well, I mean, it's a good thing because other than that, we don't have an expense account, like no double salary on the 4th month, no incentives, no.
Where do you
No
live right now?
Where do you live?
Oh my gosh. It's a long weekend this weekend, and Dennis is like, "Wait a minute, why am I working Monday?" I'm like, "I'm working Monday, so you're working Monday."
Right?
We're all working Monday. So
Don't forget the raw speech we talk about, just the work and life balance. And then somebody books a catering on Monday, and then
me, yeah. He's
good,
very
very good.
expensive. We have bills to pay.
I am expensive. I'm not gonna lie to you.
We have bills to pay.
There are people just carrying money bags at the end of the month at my place. It's just like, where do we put all this cash?
Louie's got a little, the dog's got a little strap around his neck with his own little wallet.
Yeah, I
and
burn
his
cash in the
gold
fireplace.
chains.
Yeah. We live a comfortable
Oh
life.
my gosh, this
thanks
is
to,
ridiculous now. So tonight is a request from one of our viewers, Gladys. Gladys, you are awesome. Gladys lives in New Mexico, but her husband Frank and her travel all over North America in their RV with their 2 cats.
I'm sure it
which is
smells better
amazing.
right now there.
It totally, I can promise you, it smells better in Gladys's RV than it does in here right now. These onions are super funky.
there's another white male back there just complaining about the situation. Yeah, he just chugged his whiskey.
So Gladys, thanks for the suggestion. Her suggestion was dumplings. So Dennis and I both love dumplings. There's a dumpling
Everybody
shop.
does.
Yeah, everybody does. But
yeah.
there's a dumpling shop in Vancouver that Dennis knows of that I didn't know of before Dennis and I became an item. And now Dennis buys these dumplings for us, and I
They're
always
exceptional,
have
though.
big bags of dumplings in my freezer at home. It's a super quick meal, but they're easy to make. If you have some time to make
Last
them.
night I drank a bottle of wine. My roommate came home, and I was frying a green onion pancake from the same place, and I was just steaming about like 15 dumplings. He goes like, "Are you going to?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm going to." He goes like, "Don't do that." And I had the worst nightmare actually last night.
From eating dumplings?
I don't know what it was. It was just a horrible nightmare, but probably, yeah. But it was a lot of food, but they're very convenient. They're delicious.
Yeah.
And thanks to, like, I love the ethnicity in BC that you can actually get really good quality products for very affordable price.
Yeah.
Because they're cooking it for
Hundreds and hundreds and
I don't want to
hundreds
say
of portions.
they're people, but you know, if I'm Turkish, if I go to a Turkish restaurant, and if it's not right, and if it's expensive, I won't go again. But if there is a certain market for it, and they are doing just like you would have it in Istanbul, you become a customer, and they thrive on doing a good job, and very proud of it. They work very, very hard. They're open all day, every day.
But people also don't eat just one dumpling. People eat at a
Excuse me.
sitting. You can eat. I don't know how many dumplings you can eat. I'm thinking probably a lot.
Yeah.
You can probably kill 18.
Depends on the dumpling,
Yeah.
but yeah, as long as if it's good quality. But I would like to show you a couple of easy ways to do these things tonight. Just because, again, for that same ethnic mosaic that we have, that you can buy those dumplings, but you can also buy the wrapper for the dumplings, which
Yeah.
is the hardest part. Making pasta or dumpling or any folded and filled dough requires, it is actually not that hard if your filling and your wrapper is right. And the wrapper is the one that takes the most time. It's temperamental, humidity comes into place, and most cooks are not dough friendly. So, but we have 3 major dumpling and noodle producers in Vancouver, not maybe 5 of them, within the vicinity of Victoria Drive, Southwest Marine Drive, and it's an actual fresh product.
Yeah.
It's just done by professionals that just completely that job, and
And
everybody
they're
uses
so
it.
cheap.
Yeah,
They're so inexpensive.
here I'll show
so
you.
you can buy the pack of dumpling wrappers in your grocery store. They sell them usually where they keep the tofu and other fresh food
Yeah,
like
this
that.
was about, I think this was less than $1. And it comes with about like 40 or 50 wrappers.
And you got those at like TNT or something.
I got them at TNT
Yeah.
yesterday, and they're just,
I mean, they're
They're just-
perfect. The
they're
dough
just
is so
perfect, yeah.
soft.
And it smells
so
fresh,
thin,
too, yeah.
And yeah, you can tell it's fresh. It's nice and pliable, and it's easy to work with. So you want to keep them frozen until you're going to use them, and then thaw them. They thaw really quickly, and you want to keep them, if you're not using them right away, wrapped in saran wrap so they don't dry out, because they will dry out pretty quickly.
Pretty fast,
Not
yeah.
like working with phyllo or something like that, but they do dry out fairly quickly.
absolutely.
So,
And so that's our first one. The second one is dear to my heart because I grew up on it. It is a recipe that Turks use. The recipe is same, and it hasn't been changed in the last 500 years. Can you imagine that?
500 years.
500 years, they never changed the filling, the way they ate it, because it was so perfect in their
It's
understanding.
like Chinese dumplings. I mean, all of those
Yeah,
have
but
been
there is
around
some
for...
form of variation in them. We're like, so this is the recipe, and for 500 years you're eating the same thing. Like, nobody ever questions it. They're like, we're eating it, we're eating this. So I just wanted to cook that recipe. It is originally lamb, but we're just going to use beef today. And for that, I am going to roll a fresh dough. It's an egg dough, both of two dumplings and wontons today. Normally, well, I will walk you through how the dough works and the wrappers are made. But they're both egg wrappers today. The first one is egg wrappers. The second one is an egg dough we're going to turn into a wrapper.
So like every culture basically has their version of a dumpling. So in the Chinese culture, it's a dumpling typically made with meat. So ground meat, ground fish, ground shrimp.
Leftovers, really.
Yeah.
Or, because you can't take a pound of meat and feed 30 people.
Yeah, because it goes so far in a dumpling.
But when you turn it into dumpling, you can. Also, one other thing is, in Italian culture, most likely, that making fresh pasta, because I know it's like people go home for lunch in Italian culture.
Yeah, but they take a siesta midday.
Exactly. So some of the grannies make fresh pasta every single morning, so somebody will be coming back home for lunch.
Right.
So it shows care. It shows love. It is technical. So it also means that they go the extra effort to make the dough, get up in the morning. So it has a different chemistry when you're eating this food.
So they
especially
don't
coming
call
out
it a
from
dumpling, obviously. They call it a ravioli, or they
It's all
call
the
it
same,
some
yeah.
version of something. It's just like pierogies, for example. You know, they're still a filled
Too doughy.
dough.
Can't do it. Can't do it. Can't do it.
But the pierogies, when I was a kid, my best friend's grandmother, her Oma lived with her, and they were like an old school Ukrainian family, and her grandmother made pierogies all the time. And I could smell them cooking down the block. I would be like, oh my God, I smell fried onions, I smell bacon. I knew there was going to be some pierogies in my future. And her grandmother, in the summertime, would pick berries and make berry pierogies. And today we got a shipment of berry pierogies from Veronica's in Aldergrove. So I'm super excited to have those for breakfast this week. This week we got raspberry and blueberry pierogies. So a pierogi is just a dumpling from a different culture. So
it could be sweet, it could be
savory, like we sell her
Absolutely.
savory ones all the time with potato and bacon and onions. But the fruit ones are sort of special because they're only available when the fruit is sort of at its peak. So I'm looking forward to that.
Awesome.
And I see you
So
have
let's-
some papaya in the bowl. So papaya.
That's just like a really North American move. But these dumplings are very savory. So I just wanted to bring a little bit of sweetness, and I love eating papayas. I know they're not local and whatnot, but they're available, and and I'll explain the different types of papayas. And I think it would sing well. What we're going to do is we are going to take our dipping sauce that you would have normally, and then I'm going to marinate the papayas in it. Then I'm going to strain the juice as a dipping sauce. So we have a well-composed dish with a
For
back
the
and forth.
Asian style dipping sauce.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because we're West Coast. I'm Turkish that grew up in a French restaurant that was influenced heavily by Moroccans. And then I have all this Asian, East Indian, and all the other cultures all around me. So I tend to cook a little bit of cross back and forth. It might be disrespectful of tradition, but
What's your thoughts on
I
deep
don't-
fried dumplings and deep fried raviolis? Are you a fan?
well, we are going to make one today. As long as the dough is right, yes. I mean, I'm not against and when I cook other cultures, but I can be pretty uptight with my own, just to judge the food.
And
But
since
yeah.
we're talking about Asian dumplings dumplings tonight, are you a dim sum guy? Do you go for all the dumplings, or are you like a strict sort
I
of
take
pork
a
and-
knowledgeable person, and then I just let him just take. Like I take a person that knows a certain restaurant, and then I just roll with it.
Let them order.
I still can't eat chicken cartilage, chicken feet.
I don't get it.
Just not my thing.
Yeah,
the
same.
tendons and some of those
Yeah.
stuff. But
But some of the dumplings are so elaborate, like the ones that are filled with the broth, the Xylon Bao. I mean, those are like huge dumplings that are filled with broth and meat and
they gotta
stuff.
be. The best one is in Richmond in Lansdowne Mall. That I've tasted. They make it to order actually.
The Xylon Bao. David
Yeah.
loves them. They go on this guy's thing every year. But
Awesome.
anyhow, so as usual, if you have questions while he's cooking, feel free to type them into the comment bar and I'll answer the questions. Tonight we're having a glass of wine from our friends at Shepperton Estate Winery here in South Langley. I think with the dumplings, both the Italian and the Asian style, the fried and the application, because they're stuffed with pork, they tend to be a little bit on the more savory, like really unctuous, almost fatty kind of side if they're fried dumplings. And so you need some wine that's a little bit crisp that's going to cut through some
But
of
a
that.
nice
So,
acidity, and it's
do you like
delicious.
it?
Excellent. I can have a top up actually.
Oh, really? So fill my glass
And if
leave.
you're not leaving, I'm gonna call security because it's 5:48.
Security's not here, but HR is. So anyhow, so our friends at Domaine de Shepperton here in South Langley is a great pairing for the dumplings.
Awesome.
So get to work.
My God.
Finally.
All right, finally. So, welcome to the live episode. We are gonna make some dumplings. First things first, I would like to show you some wontons. These are egg wrappers. Again, I told you there's one of those local companies in making them. They're the best bang for your buck. Have it in your freezer. The wheat starch freezes exceptionally well. So, and it means that it doesn't alter the quality. And even when you're making these, I would make a large batch. Don't make 30 dumplings, but make 100. Spend some time with it and freeze them. And they eat from frozen, cook from frozen. It will be a quick, very quick weekday meal. If you don't have a whole lot of options, let's take a sip of wine and get to work.
Finally.
Let's turn that microphone off, please.
The peanut gallery.
Yeah. So, Now, if you're enrolled for this episode or registered, you have the recipes. Today we are going to make pork chive and shrimp dumplings. I think it's a great combination. It tastes excellent. It is one of my favorites. A little bit of seafood, a little bit of white meat that is nice and lean, that can accommodate the whole flavor profile. And we're going to have a little bit of sweet and a salty and a sour dipping sauce.
Chef, do you happen to know the name of the dumpling place we were talking about? Somebody's asking.
To eat or to buy?
The ones you buy for us.
Is called...
It'll come back to you. We can deal with it later.
Sweet Country Food. Give me a sec. Give me a sec on that.
Old man pro.
Yeah. It's called Sweet Country Foods, I think. I will get you the name, and we will post it in the thread. Papaya, very, very delicious fruit. It comes in two forms. It's called a cooking papaya, which you can make salads out of it when it's green and it's nice and toothsome. But this is a fully ripe papaya. They're like avocados. This is nice, sweet, and delicious. It's got a good flavor to it. In here, I put the lime zest with the fully chopped papaya. I'm going to add a lime juice in here.
So the pork you bought pre-ground, the shrimp, did you just do a fine chop on that, or?
Not a fine chop, coarse chop, because I like texture. As you eat it, it just becomes toothsome. And you're like, hey, there's a little bit of shrimp in there. There is pork, shrimp, ginger, garlic, soy sauce, fish sauce in my filling, as well as a touch of baking soda. Just a touch, just to emulsify the whole meat. And then what I do is I usually just take the meat and put it in a mixer, and you whoop it around until it's sausage-like consistency. Not like a ground meat consistency, but it's nice and firm and all that. You can use crab, you can use shrimp.
So that's a KitchenAid mixer with the mixing attachment.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah. Anything with a mixing attachment would work.
Yeah.
Okay, so my lime zest and lime juices and papayas. Here's from the recipe, soy sauce and the fish sauce goes in. Okay. And then I'm just going to whoop this around, and I'm going to start marinating my papaya while I work on my wontons. And then the acid and the salt is going to start to break down that papaya. It's going to get into the juice. And then we're going to strain that juice as a dipping sauce, so we will have a wholesome dish. Now, my wrappers.
So you called these egg wrappers. So there's no such thing that I'm aware of as a gluten-free dumpling wrapper.
No, there's not.
So these are made from wheat flour, and there's egg in the dough. Is the process of making these similar to the pasta process?
It is. It is. Although are very much alike, right? There is so much wheat flour can absorb, it being egg, combination of water and egg or flour. So it is, but the best part is
they're made for you.
Yeah. Either you deal with this and a cranky machine like this, which is quite squeaky, or you just go to the store. Now, if my grandmother used pre-made dumpling wrappers, I'd be upset. But I'm from that culture. But this is a great convenience, because all the hard work, most technical part is done for you. You just need to whip up some meat, and then I'll show you how easy that is. Gets right in front of you. Also in between, these have corn or tapioca starch, just to keep them separate and nice, which is a nice glue. So, get it on your hand, like a little wrapper, and then with your middle finger, make sure that it just only touches the middle. You're not touching to the sides. You have a nice, I would say about 10 mils of filling right in there. And this is a 2 by 2.
So the reason to keep it off the sides is because if there's filling on the sides, it won't seal, right?
Exactly. So the whole thing about filled dumplings is, or raviolis or anything in that sense, is that just to have everything right so that you're not struggling with the process. That's where people fail. your filling is too wet. Now it's just squirting on the sides of the thing and it's not sealing properly. You put it in the water, the whole thing exploded. You're like, I followed the recipe, that recipe sucks. Yeah, that's not. And then all this starch residue that's here, I'm just going to dip my little painting brush, get rid of the excess, because you don't want it wet, you want it moist. 1, 2, 3.
And that's just water, yeah.
Just water. You can use cornstarch slurry, but this already has the starch on there. Now, once you fold it, square ones almost always starts with a triangle. So get into a triangle. And then what we're going to do is, as you can see the filling right in there, we're just going to squeeze every single piece of air as much as you can. Now, if you're not familiar with the process, put it on your board and use the side of your finger just to squeeze and pinch around the filling. This is important because as this things heat, if you have a little air pocket, it will expand. And as it expands, it will thin out your dough. You might have a breakage, or you might have a wrinkly ravioli or a wrinkly dumpling. Do you want that? Is it the end of the world? Not really. But, I mean, you're doing all this work without making the dumpling wrapper. You might as well do it right. And then
we're kind of wrinkly, so, you know, it's only fair.
I'm only 43. I'm not there yet.
Whatever.
Anyway, so as you can see, it's nicely pinched. There's no air in between. Now, from here, you can go, I don't know, go an Italian shape. Just lightly press in the bottom. Okay? And then I'm going to create little channels here so it doesn't collapse on itself. And then I'm going to grab it and turn it and pinch it, which gives you a large tortelloni. Now, just because this is starch heavy, I'm going to seal the end with a little bit of water. So that happens. So that's one. Now, well, I don't want to keep you waiting. So I have a bunch made here, but
Okay, oh my God, I have to tell everybody how excited you were with these little raviolis you're making today. He told us about 8,000 times how cute they were. He was so excited for tonight's class.
yeah, of course. Because I can make it. Oh my God, okay. So, the other one I would like to show you is you just make your filling a little bit of oblong in shape. And then let's just do a little, I mean, obviously, if you're at home, just don't do that more. It might piss off your grandmother. Or get a spritz bottle and just do a light spritz. Then I'm going to roll this like a cigar, maybe. Okay.
A cigar.
Just like a cigar. Okay. And then I'm going to pinch two ends of it. Make it nice and tight, pushing all the air out. And then you're just going to grab and clamp with your 3 fingers so it looks like a little caramel wrapped candy, which calls as a caramel. Should we do another shape?
Yeah.
We should do a bunch of shapes. Again, in your hand, that's how the pros do it, which I am not at all.
Pro tip.
Pro tip for the night. Again,
So can we just talk for a second about fillings again? So this one is pork and shrimp. You could do a vegetarian version. What would a veggie filling be made from? Mushrooms typically?
mushrooms would be nice. Something that can be pureed. Like, okay, so when you do a vegetarian filling, you obviously need to have something that's going to bind your mixture. You can't just put raw vegetables in there. They're going to release their juice and the whole thing is going to explode. So you can do mushrooms, bind with an egg.
Cooked or raw?
Raw.
Okay.
So, sorry, the puree is cooked, but
Yeah.
you can put raw
egg.
vegetables in it. And you can do a cream cheese filling or a ricotta filling, just what Italians would do, set with an egg yolk. Just Google it. The whole information is there.
So you could do, you're doing pork and shrimp mix, but you could do straight shrimp if you were a seafood person only.
You
or
can do anything. That's the
chicken,
beauty
beef.
of it.
Yeah.
That's how the dumplings were generated.
Yeah.
This is a triangle. Let's just keep it a triangle. And you know what? While you're making these things, while you buy the wrappers, work on your shapes. Get on YouTube. Watch a video on how to. I'll do one last time.
Derek says he makes his with mushrooms, yams, and green onions. That sounds really good.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. Yeah. I really love the meat. This is just like a very noble way of eating meat. You know,
I like the meat. It feels like like when you eat dumplings, it doesn't feel like you've had too much to eat. You're not so overstuffed that you feel terrible. Well, obviously, if you eat 100 of them, you're gonna have a problem. But
absolutely.
I mean, they're a nice way to eat.
And also the Far East version usually comes with larger meat fillings and a skinnier dumpling. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
It's not a whole lot of dough. It's a nice way of eating meat. But that's me. But you know. So this one, let's just do a square. Again, just like we did the caramel one. Just fold it into a rectangular shape. And I am just going to do a little push out the air as much as you
So if you're doing
can.
a bunch of dumplings, this would be a fun thing to do on a Sunday with the kids or something.
Put the children to work. Yeah. Just free labor. That's the best thing.
Let's face it.
Rectangular. Do a little dent and just fold the arms without any force. With these things, you should use. And look at it. It looks like Darth Vader.
Darth Vader. Can you make a baby Yoda?
I think it looks like a baby Yoda or anything in between. I mean, look at this. It's got the high necks and it's just like looks like a pissed off soccer player from Europe. Give the microphone to that guy. All right, so today we're gonna make fried wontons. So I have my tray. Let's see if we're gonna start a fire. And I have a bunch of mixed shapes. Sorry, Jenna.
So you don't have any flour on that tray. They're just sitting there dry, right?
Yeah. Excess flour is not the best thing that you can do with your dumplings because
The wrapper's already been floured, so.
So I'll tell you. I mean, with the Oriental dumplings, it's a little bit different because.
So you're loading that up pretty heavy, more than you would if it was
Yeah,
something else in there.
like a potato. But so this is going. This is going to take about 2 minutes. We'll keep an eye on it. The reason why there's I was just dropping dumplings. The reason why there's starch in between those wrappers is because so they can sell it to you for frozen. You know what I mean?
And they don't stick together.
They don't stick together. That's the thing about dough. Like if you was to use fresh dough, this can get stuck together. Now, whenever you make your dumplings, whenever you're doing your first batch, always have this meat probe just to check one of the dumplings' core temperature. So you make sure that you're cooked.
Because you're still cooking meat.
Yeah, absolutely. My temperature is about 330, and they cook very, very fast. It's a very small amount of filling, and it's really, really hot in there.
So Chef Berenica has joined us tonight. She says she's Polish and she makes mushroom dumplings.
Oh no, I said bad things about.
White and wild mushrooms with onions, and in Poland they serve them on Christmas Eve with red sour borscht.
What is a red
really
sour borscht?
I think it's a soup. Berenica, what is
Borscht?
Sour red borscht. She says borscht.
Borscht, okay.
Borscht is a beet soup if you're Ukrainian, but she can maybe clarify what that is. So every culture has their own version of a dumpling.
Absolutely, we all do. And it's a sign of love and care. And I mean, look at this. Doesn't it look gorgeous?
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
I mean, the
Hopefully
whole
you
thing
didn't
is
screw it up.
crispy. No. Let's see if this whole thing is cooked. Again, if you're doing this every week, you will know, you will have a timer. It takes about 2 minutes, to be honest with you. But we're about like 160 Fahrenheit. So that's my first batch. That took about 2 minutes. Now, the beauty of this is you can put all this on a baking sheet and you can completely freeze them and you can cook them from frozen.
The raw dumplings, not the cooked ones.
The raw dumplings. Just put them in a sheet or tray just like this and then cook them from frozen. You just need to add, if it's 2 minutes, you just add an extra minute.
And just be careful when you're dropping them into the oil if they're frozen. There's going to be some moisture that's, you just be careful.
In general, when you're deep frying, no drinking and deep frying.
Yeah.
That being said, I'm a professional.
And you shouldn't be naked while you're frying them. That's David's contribution.
Do you know, have you seen that? Have you heard that
The commercial?
the bacon that you can cook naked? How bad is commercials now?
Yeah, you can cook all of it.
Yeah. Anyway, so
Shelley found a website for sweet country foods.
sweet country foods. Yeah,
Is
that's
that
the
what they're
name.
called? Good score, Shelley. But none of their website is in English. So it says Vancouver and then tons of Cantonese, 9 o'clock.
Wait till you make it to the store.
But it doesn't
There
even
is no
say
actual.
where it is.
There is no signage. You just need to rely on your Google app.
Oh, there's the address. So everybody's on their own. It's on Kingsway at 2538 Kingsway. It is worth the trip. They're open from 9 to 6.
It just does, though. It is.
And they just sell frozen and fresh dumplings. Is that right?
No, just frozen.
Just frozen.
Yeah.
So go stock
But
up.
it worth your time. Let's give a little flip to this so everything fries properly.
Dennis does a stop there every few weeks and loads us all up. We all have dumplings in our freezer.
They all know me by now. All right, so with my papayas, I'm just going to strain my sauce. While my dumplings gently weep.
So in the sauce, Chef, what was in there? Soy sauce?
Soy,
Fish sauce.
fish, oh, look at this. Don't they look beautiful? Other than a few of them just like got away. All right, let's turn this health hazard off. Okay, so papayas, lime zest,
And in the liquid was just a combination of soy and fish sauce? Is that right?
and marinated papaya. I marinated the papayas in here.
Right.
So papaya is going to become my condiment. And the bottom of the plate,
You got any ranch dressing?
I got the chipotle ranch.
Thank God.
Thank God. I'm sure the next will be ranch tzatziki. But we'll figure that one out. So that's my marinated or macerated fruit.
So I noticed you didn't season those dumplings with salt when they came out of the fryer. Is it just because you haven't got to it yet, or it doesn't need it?
It doesn't need it.
Because
I have a flavorsome filling.
And the dipping sauce is salty also.
Exactly. So there is going to be a lot of seasoning in there. I will tell you. And you know what the thing is? The dip is beautifully thickened just by breaking down of a ripe papaya. So you don't need a thickener or anything really.
Chef, are you going to fry any of these Asian dumplings? Pan fry them? Or no, you're just frying these tonight?
It's been deep fried. Why would I pan
Yeah,
fry it?
so when somebody told me recently that if you add a little bit, when you pan fry your dumplings, when you typically add the water or the liquid that you're frying them with, if you add a little bit of cornstarch into your liquid, it makes like this crust on the bottom of the pan. Do you know this technique?
I do.
And so is it something that's worthwhile, or what is the deal?
It takes about 85 times to come close to it. Yeah, what you're doing is you're just actually frying the excess starch. Not excess starch, sorry. Just removing the moisture and frying starch just to make it crispy. But that's a very advanced move. I would work on the color of my browning or my dumplings before, just to create that tuile around the dumplings.
You dropped a dumpling. It's in front of your frying pan there. Man down.
Oh, good dumpling. All right. And then,
So these same dumplings that you fried, you could pan fry on the stovetop, right? You don't have to deep fry?
I would either steam or boil them rather than pan fry them. Because this is an egg dough, egg dough does not do well pan frying too much. But it is way better when it's steamed and then fried.
So Berenica says it is a borscht, but first you make the beet sour. That takes a couple of weeks. After, we use the juice to make the borscht, and clear broth gets served as a soup with the mushroom dumplings. That
Amazing.
sounds really good.
Amazing.
All right, I'm
all right.
coming over.
Yeah, and we can use some cutlery for our guests.
Oh, there's so much work, our guests.
Oh, man.
Our guests all work here, so. Except David. David works here, he just isn't on the payroll.
I'm just a contractor, so I don't know what's going on that end.
Our guests are thirsty tonight. Do you need a top up?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Really?
I still got to pinch pasta. This is going too aggressive as of right now.
Sorry, I'm just breaking it because it's hot in the middle.
Yep.
Yeah.
It is quite hot in the middle.
It's good.
Isn't it delicious?
Where are the stinky chives are coming up next.
Yeah, it's on the next plate.
It's
There's
salty.
actually so much of stinky chives in the filling.
There is?
Yeah, there is.
Stinky chives in there. It's salty, but that's from the fish sauce and the soy.
Yeah, and that's why I just put the fruit down there just to put the whole thing down.
This is really delicious. The filling's really good. I would add a bit of spice to mine, like some hot sauce in there. We sell this product at the store called Umami Bomb. That would be phenomenal with this. In fact, I'm gonna go get some off the shelf and we can have it with this. It's so good. But these are, some of them lost their shape when they fried. Do they keep their shape a bit better when they are boiled or steamed rather?
Absolutely, because frying is in a very
pretty aggressive.
It is a pretty aggressive environment.
Yeah.
But you know, it is fried food, so that's just expected.
But they all still held together. And I think the
Yeah.
biggest takeaway from this is to keep the edges clean. Only use a little bit of the water on the edges and that'll seal them up tight. But if
Absolutely.
your liquid leaks out, you got a situation.
You will have a big situation because it's
Yeah.
hot oil and leaking out
Not
liquid.
pretty. So make sure that the edges are dry and clean when you fry them.
All right, the next one. I'll be working on this side, Jenna. Just a heads up for you before I move in.
That corner?
That corner, please. Let's crank our boiling water up, all the way up. And now, my dough is a very classical Italian pasta dough. It is about 1 egg, given it being a 60 gram or 65 gram egg to 100 grams of flour. If you're using anything less than that, it will be about like 90 grams to one egg. So you will need to do the adjustment. But you have the recipe if you signed up for this. Now I have this. Up!
You did it.
I did it. It was a bit scary. Here, let's do it
Oh,
again.
was this your big drum solo? Oh, he's been practicing this all day. It's amazing.
I used to be cool before I started cooking.
Really. I asked around, that's a lie.
than just.
You're still cool, Dennis. Don't worry.
Thanks, man. Should we do a shot?
Oh,
Because there's no support from the front line here.
I got you, man.
it's a
Thanks,
tough
man.
crowd.
All right, so my pasta dough is just again. I told you the ratio. Now in Italy, they use chickens that's been fed with beta carotene, like carrots, or grains that just yields these this super duper yolk. Chill out now. Super orange yolk. Now in Canada, you can get it with Maple Hills large eggs, of the organic ones, every once in a while, but it's usually pale. Just to amp that up, I just use about 3 mils of turmeric per egg.
For color only.
For color only, you cannot detect the taste, and it looks like $1 million when it's made, just like a pasta that would be made with those eggs. And you know, we paint pasta with beetroot, we paint pasta with spinach, we paint pasta with a lot of things. So I could justify this, but again, this is an adulteration of pasta. We're good, and I suggest you don't commit to that. Now, this is a Turkish recipe I grew up on. This is a recipe that we use for special occasions. And when you go to a restaurant, you eat like few plates of this just to get your fix. Well-made pasta dough, just like this. I'm not going to show you how to make it because there's hundreds of tutorials and they're all the same.
If you just hop onto our website, in the recipe section, you'll find Dennis's pasta dough
Exactly,
recipe.
and we made fresh pasta with explanation with all the details. Now, a well-made pasta does not require a lot of flour. If you see a French that has got a lot of flour, something is off about it. So, just a little flour. Wash your hands with flour. We call it in the station. Not too much. And then just grab and drop a high drop. So you have a residue of flour that's just going to float the pasta on top of it. If you use excess flour, it's going to dehydrate it very fast. Then you might end up having a hard time to shape it. So this is just a regular pasta machine that you can purchase anywhere. We're just going to start from the coarsest setting. First, I use a small rolling pin just to get the whole thing going, obviously. So
Hey,
it fits in
Chef,
here. Hi.
breaking news. Doug's just joining us. He says he had to leave the class for a minute. A friend from Langley just won a gold medal in the women's 8 scull in the Olympics. That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
A local
That is
Langley
cool.
person, a Langley, I'm guessing it was a Langley woman who won.
Amazing.
That's awesome.
What did she win it on?
Scull rowing.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah,
Row your boat.
cool. That is super.
That is
cool.
super cool. Yeah, down the street. I'm sorry, I don't follow sports. I just, I'm just fat and useless, so I just give that a long time ago, but go Team Canada. And we are, as we're just progressing, we're just like closing the gap one by one, so it's just, you know, does its thing and just stretches out. You can absolutely do this by hand. As you can see with a nice made pasta dough, you will have some air bubbles, which is going to give you lightness. But, you know, we have the machinery. I only do fresh pasta by hand on Sundays because it's a thing to do at my place. Oh, man. Okay. Give me a second. All right. Let's try this one more time. When you have a pasta machine, we sell pasta machines, right?
We do, yeah.
Yeah, come to World Season, just buy one of the pasta machines. These things are like tanks. You buy one and it'll last you a whole lifetime. The only thing with the pasta machines are you never wash your pasta machines, ever. Because if there's moisture, the residue of flour is going to start to create little shards. And those shards eventually are going to turn into this. And when you have those, they're going to come out every once in a while and tear your pasta dough that you've been working on all day, and it's just going to be annoying. So whatever it is, just brush it off and get rid of the excess moisture. And this is my thinnest setting. You know what? Before I go through the thinnest setting, let's just again wash our hands with flour. Up, down, flip, up, down. And then we're just going to...
Doug says his handle falls out of his pasta machine all the time. Can it be tightened? I don't
Nope.
know.
It happens all the time. It just does happen all the time. There's not a whole lot we can do about it.
Deal with it, Doug.
Yeah. One thing that you don't want to do is stretch your dough hanging out. You just stretch being by hand, just like this. That's not ideal. Use light hands. Light hands are the greatest tool in pasta making. And as you can see, it's see-through. You can see my hands. That's the whole idea about the fresh pasta. That you should be able to, you know what, let's just do something. I'm going to take the half of this. Let's just cut half of this. Now at this point, if you're making noodles, you can just be slightly liberal with your flour on both sides, because we're going to cut noodles out of this, just so I can show you. And then I'm going to, should we hang it up here?
Do you want a hanger?
No. Yeah, I would love a hanger.
I'll get a
please.
hanger.
Yeah, get a hanger.
We're competing with the Olympics tonight, Chef. Shelley says there's a Langley guy competing in high jump also.
What's up with the Langley and the Olympics?
Hey, we're good sportsmen here in Langley.
Is it?
Here you go.
Thank you. A lot of frustration, I guess, physical.
No, there's people who actually do things, Chef, not like us.
Oh man, I used to be married to one. No, she was an almost Olympian. Yeah. So let that dry.
This is the pasta Olympics tonight.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna take my bicyclette, and then we're just going to set. I would just say that you just go about like an inch plus, an inch and a 1/4, and cut little squares. Then,
Edward pasta hands.
right? Edward pasta hands. That's a good one. And then we're just going to go this way.
That's David's contribution tonight. Edward pasta hands.
And then we are just going to have our little squares. Now all this little not square pieces, they are perfect to use.
The scraps.
You know what? That lady's been too loud.
Me? What?
Yeah. Why don't you come on over and let's just see? Let's fold some pasta together.
You missed
Let's
me
see
when
what
I
you
was
can.
away.
Yeah. Just why don't you come over and let's just make some pasta?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I'll come over and drink some wine. You can make some pasta. How's
Oh
that?
my God, that's as foodie as it gets.
Yeah. I'm going to influence the hell out of that.
Yeah. Come on, why don't you come on over and hold some pasta?
Stop talking. I'm drinking and eating right now.
Wonderful.
Pull your own pasta boy.
Oh, I was never called a boy before.
So what is your filling?
My filling is beef, cumin, coriander, you got the recipe, just read the recipe.
I'm guessing the stinky chives don't go into this one.
Oh, it is all the way in this
stinky
one.
chives are in everything tonight. What is the deal with these damn chives, by the way?
So traditional shape for these.
Where are you going?
I'm just gonna grab my pre-made tray. Traditional shape for these is it's called little bundles. But again, you're more than free to do whatever the hell you want. I just brushed it lightly with water. I'm gonna bring two edges top. Then I'm gonna bring the other edge. You know what? There's a little bit of moisture. I'm just gonna wash my hands with flour again. Make a triangle first. Sorry, not a triangle. Bring two edges per two tops, and then brought the fourth edge, and then give it a little pinch. I mean, it just looks nice. So, or if you would like, this is very fresh right now.
Wow, that's a very close-up of Chef D there, Jenna. It's a bit frightening.
The pasta in there.
You can keep it as a little triangle, like a triangle.
I didn't know you were bilingual.
I can speak a lot of languages. Another triangle. Let's have another triangle. We should have a bunch of different shapes.
Should what?
Have a bunch of different shapes. And again, it starts with triangle. You create little channels, get it on top of your finger, and give it a pinch. That's your little tortelli.
Man, you're so quiet when you're like shaping pasta.
No, I was happy a minute ago.
We should do this all
I
day.
I was happy a minute ago. Another one.
So are these guys going to get boiled or?
They are going to get boiled traditionally. Again, you can put the two tips together. Bring the last tip one and then the other one and make a little bundle. Anyway, you get the idea. So, I'm going to leave this station alone because we got to go.
Veronica says those are so small. Too much work to feed a family. You can make them bigger. Veronica.
Well, you're feeding your family, Veronica. You should put in the work.
Ha ha.
I'm going to also start my harissa butter. All right, let's go.
Those fried dumplings you made are disappearing very fast, Chef.
Amazing. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
So these are the same technique as the dumplings. If you're going to freeze them laid out on a sheet pan.
Exactly. Just lay them on a sheet pan. Just put it in your freezer for about like 15 minutes. Once the starch hardens, just
Transfer them to a bag.
into a Ziploc bag. That will make the greatest convenience for a dinner that you don't have time. Dirty plate. Let's just get rid of this and grab another plate.
Derek says supersize them. You can't make raviolis too giant because then they won't cook properly.
They can. You just need to adjust your pasta thickness. If you have a raw filling, your filling should be a little bit thicker. If you have a creamy filling, like when you eat a ricotta ravioli, and if it's just like it's grainy and split, that is not good also. Anyway, I'm running out of time, so I'm just going to roll with this.
We can run a few minutes late, Chef. We did have a technical issue earlier.
Yeah. I don't think we will do too much, but I just checked this out. Now, this is going to need about 3 minutes as soon as it starts going. Now, for our base, this is a bit unusual for North America, but or Italian culture, to be honest with you. I have thick yogurt, Greek yogurt here, a pinch of salt in there. Roasted garlic, put it in the olive oil, put it in a pan, lightly colored, and cook it until soft. I always have this in my fridge, in there, and mix it. Now this is a bit odd, but it will make sense, I swear to you.
Hey Chef, Derek wants to know if you could par cook the filling in your raviolis before they go in.
No, you cannot.
It's weird. It doesn't work properly.
It just doesn't. That's the whole thing about the filling.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put a little dollop. You can have a cooked like a cooked filling, but not this application. The whole artistry about adjusting your pasta dough and the thickness of it, and within your filling shows the craftsmanship, and that shows that you know what you're talking about, that you have that nice and creamy and a very, very strongly flavored filling. Okay, now this is that. Just a little bit of roasted garlic yogurt on my plate. My dumplings is about 2 minutes on it. I'm going to turn up my...
Did you salt that water, Chef?
Absolutely.
dumpling water?
It takes about 2 tablespoons of Diamond Crystal Kosher salt. If you don't have it, come to Well Seasoned and buy a box. It's the best salt. Yeah, it doesn't have to be sea salty, but it has to be somewhat salty. Now this is my saucepan that's going to make the brown butter harissa. To this, then I'm just going to get a little bit of my starchy pasta water, put it in my pan, and this is going to be glazed for my pasta. Okay? Little butter here. One is brown, one is blanc.
Sorry, did you add the harissa? I missed it.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Now my butter is browning and it's quite bubbly. Only if you could see that. You probably somewhat can.
Are you trying to get a brown butter going?
It is a brown butter, yes, absolutely. All right, I've got about a minute and in. My brown butter is all foamy.
So Periam would like to know, what is harissa, Chef?
Harissa is a chili paste from North Africa, influenced from Morocco, influenced by French. It literally is a bunch of chilies that's been, it's hot sauce. Moroccan hot sauce is what it is.
It comes in a tube like toothpaste, but you definitely
It
don't
can.
want to use it to brush
There
your
is
teeth.
many variations of it in Middle East. But it's important that you fry this in brown butter for that extra oomph. And I wish you could see how beautiful and foamy this is. That
smells way better than those funky chives.
Yeah, it does. That was just actually the chives, the lamest herb in the, French onions. Anyway. Now we're about 2 minutes. That's perfect. Then I'm going to grab my little towel here.
Oh, Towel Town.
Towel
Back at
Town.
Towel Town.
And then I am going to drop this into my emulsified butter here, just to glaze the pasta a little bit. Okay? Now this is going to glaze. You're just going to lightly shake it around.
Shake it.
Nice and glazy. And then while all this is happening and coming together, my pasta is saved and dried. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a little bit of flour, roll it around on here, a little bit of flour on the other end. Then I'm going to do this, this, and this. I'm folding it like on both ends and then on top of each other. Grab my knife. Bam, 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 bam. And that will be your regular noodle, really. Isn't that just beautiful?
Dumps and nudes.
Dumps and nudes. It's as good as it gets. And then this, you can grab it, do a little braid, grab the bottom. Okay. That's that.
That looks like my lunch tomorrow.
If you're lucky. And then my pasta is glazed. Let's just grab a spoon. We're just going to drop our pasta. Oh no. That is my lunch right now.
Did you say that's my lunch tomorrow?
Right now. So that's that. That's my glazed pasta.
I love that you're always impressed by yourself. It cracks me up.
It's the only thing I have.
That's all you got.
That's all I got.
And this is the Harissa brown butter.
Harissa brown butter that goes right on top.
Doug says those noodles would be good with our fried chicken tomorrow.
Try a biscuit next time.
Oh yeah, we should make biscuits tomorrow.
Yeah, we got a pastry chef in the house. We might as well take advantage of her. So that's that. Typically dried mint would go on top. I don't have it.
Dried mint?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. It's a very traditional. I have sumac.
Don't use those weird chives.
I have sumac, traditional topping.
I'm surprised about the dried mint. You're like always with the fresh herbs.
It's just a tradition, and actually dried mint is a nice. These are cucumber melons from Michelle's garden. Normally, if you do this in Turkey, they would put you in jail.
They would what, sorry?
Put you in jail. Yeah. And then I like adding like raw texture. I like adding raw texture to these things. Not as a garnish, but I think it just lightens the whole dish up. I'm anti-garnish. This is a watermelon radish that's nice and spicy. That's just going to give you a little bit of offset. All right, let's have you here and let's just taste this. Hoo-ha.
That looks really nice.
I'm glad. I might pay the bill.
Probably
I might pay
not.
the bills. There you go. And the last one. Oh man, the wontons are gone. I was hoping to.
They were hungry.
Oh shoot.
One more time, what's in the filling? Beef and what else?
Beef, coriander, cumin, garlic. I would put raw onion juice, but you don't like raw onions, so I just skipped that one. And yeah, that's it, really.
They're so small. They're so easy to eat.
Yeah.
I mean,
You should have like 2 or 3 at a time with a big spoonful of yogurt and this and that.
it's hard to imagine this would be as good without the homemade fresh pasta. The fresh pasta is really, people are going to ask this and you're going to be offended for a second, but people want to know if you can use the pre-made lasagna noodles that you buy at the grocery store to make raviolis like this.
Yes and no. I mean, if you can pinch them, because those are come really, really well dusted.
They're thick, I find.
They're thick, they're well dusted, and they not necessarily always work. But making fresh pasta literally is not very hard. You just gotta focus. You just gotta put the time in. Just like anything. If you want to snowboard, there is a certain period of time that you're gonna fall.
You have to practice.
It's gonna hurt.
It's like any skill.
It's like any skill that's acquired ever. So, so yeah, if you really like fresh pasta, spend a minute on it. I mean, it'll take 10 or 15 times, depending on your culinary level. But you will get there, absolutely.
Would you ever use this filling in the wonton wrappers?
No, because this is quite a hard filling. It's got a sausage, like a bite feel. If you have this in a large form, it is not going to eat, nor the pasta will pasta on the outside will cook, overcook.
But the wonton pasta is definitely a different texture than this. This is more of a al dente kind of texture. The
Yeah.
wonton pasta or the wonton wrappers, when you cook them, they go quite soft. So they're easy to eat.
Yeah.
This feels like heartier, like you couldn't eat as many of these necessarily as you could the dumplings, only because this is more,
Traditionally,
know.
they have a touch of water in the recipe, which I skip. I think this eats better. Also, if you were in Turkey back then, if you were a girl that was about to get married or in a marrying age, what they say is you should be able to squeeze 50 in a portion, then you're ready to get married.
what does that mean? You have to make them or eat them?
You have to make it so small
Oh,
and so intricately nice that, you know what, if you can fit 50 of those in a
then you're
single portion,
husband worthy?
then you will be, some male would come and approve that, yeah, I can marry you.
And exactly what is marrying age?
In Turkey? It depends on if it's 60s or 70s or 80s. It just keeps going up.
I would approve if you could make 2 of these. I would marry you. Not you, somebody
Yeah.
else. But
But that goes with tortellini, and this is just like a good old country tale that
Yeah.
people say that, this times was different back then, but
so
it's
tonight,
folklore.
folklore.
It is.
Um,
It is.
So tonight we learned about dumplings and stuffed pasta. Chinese dumplings, every family has its own version of their filling. Every restaurant that pinches their own filling or pinches their own dumplings has their own specific recipe for it. So if you have your favorite Asian restaurant that you go to all the time, like we do with our dumplings, support them, buy their food. But if you want to be adventurous and start learning how to pinch your own dumplings, make your own noodles, and fill your own raviolis, I guess. These are raviolis, tortellonis,
they're all
whatever.
the same thing. Yeah.
Then do that. But the store-bought wrappers are such a convenience, so take advantage of those.
They
Experiment with your
don't taste
fillings.
as fresh, though. I gotta tell you that.
The store-bought?
Yeah.
Dude, they're not as fresh as when you buy them from the place that's rolling it out by hand. It's like phyllo. You've had homemade phyllo. Not a lot of us in North America have ever had homemade phyllo. It's just not something that very many people make anymore.
Absolutely, and I dig the convenience of it because, to me, cooking is having a good experience, and I just want to get to as close to the experience. But I'm a tradesman. I've been doing this for a while and this and that. But for convenience,
But you're also kind of a nerd. You like to
Yeah.
learn these things, experiment with things, and roll out the dough
Yeah.
and all of that kind of stuff. I've only ever had homemade phyllo once. I went to a friend's house. They're a Greek family. They're from the Greek islands. And the grandmother, who didn't speak any English at all, was rolling out phyllo dough on this massive table with a giant broomstick. And I have never seen anybody make phyllo from scratch because it's so labor intensive. It's difficult to do, and most of us in North America would never see the value in doing something like that.
because we go to work.
But yeah, and you
Over
can-
there, usually the girls used to stay home and just,
but we're
just,
used to the
take care.
convenience of buying a package of phyllo
Yeah.
dough for like $3 at the grocery store. So this is similar. You're not going to make your own wonton wrappers. You can buy them at the grocery store. It's never
Absolutely.
going to be as amazing as a homemade old school version.
But it's also not some stuff from, just
not garbage.
South
Yeah.
America or whatnot.
It is still made fresh.
It's just made in the neighborhood,
Yeah.
just down the road.
Yeah.
And people like the freezing technology has changed, absolutely. But as well as you can, as a restaurant, you can, just contract these things out.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you don't have space to make bread, just don't make your own bread, but just go to a bakery nearby. Hey, 4 p.m. I need this amount of bread, and
Yeah.
you just buy it. And that's what they do. And there's nothing
There's
wrong
nothing
with
wrong with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So hopefully you guys
Us-
learned something tonight about fillings, buying dough, making dough, all of those kinds of things. If you have questions while you're cooking, don't send us 911 questions, but feel free to email askachef@wellseasoned.ca. He will ignore them. I will answer them.
Yeah.
What are we going to make next week?
I don't know.
So we're looking for your suggestions.
We have 2 more weeks before our summer break.
Yeah, we have 2 more weeks. So next week we have an open week. We're looking for suggestions for some classes. And then the week of August 12th, we're doing halibut. So we're
Halibut,
working
yeah.
with BC Halibut, to present a class on halibut.
And
but-
then we'll take a break.
and then we're on break.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you have questions, feel free to ask them. Your glass is empty, but I'm going to cheers you guys. Thanks for joining us tonight. We will see you right back here, 5:30 Thursday night. Cheers. Enjoy your long weekend.
Cheers.